I know there's no perfect way to do it. It doesn't make me want to do it anymore though, right? Is that how you feel? So I want you to think of the other hand. So what if you do it imperfectly? Are you afraid of what might happen if you do it imperfectly? Are you afraid of looking down on yourself? Are you afraid of disappointing yourself? Maybe not others. A lot of time procrastination is something internal, right? It may not have like outside impositions. Do you think you want to do it? The comparison is hurtful. So who makes the comparison? Do other people make the comparison, or do you make the comparison with others? So it's an internal comparison. In what aspects do you feel this the most right now? In what aspects of your life do you feel it the most? Is it in school? Is it in work? Is it in relationships? Is it in money? Like wealth accumulation? Or the trajectory of your career? Is it your appearance? Is it your physical health? In designing project. Okay. All right. So, I want you to reconcile with something, right? So, do you agree that we can't have our cake and eat it too? Do you first agree with that? So we can't have everything we want, right? There's cause and effect. If you have something, it's natural that you would suck at something that's opposing, right? You shut up. So I'm meaning, like, there is like, you can't have everything. It's law. It's reality. So this is how it your profile, your cognitive profile sounds like a spiky one where you find it hard to manage things, two aspects that might naturally be opposing in nature, such as being creative and having structure. So, creativity of the mind, like imagination, fundamentally thrives on chaos. They thrive under non-structure. It's just how it goes. It's just how creativity, imagination, sparks of ideas and genius. It's just how it happens. Okay, it comes out from chaos. So naturally, people who are extra creative will have less structure in their brains to be able to maintain external structure. So they will naturally struggle more with maintaining outward structure in their lives because they have a little bit less structure here because they're so creative. So it is a directly opposing thing. You can't have it both ways. There are people who have more rounded profiles, more rounded out profiles. They will have more structure. They're not like no imagination. It's not like they have no creativity at all. They will just have less of everything. But they have a more well-roundedness about them. They can handle deadlines, they can handle structure, they can sustain momentum, they can they have continuous output. They will never, they will be less likely to come up with sparks of genius. They will less likely be able to push through an urgent deadline or an emergency or blah, blah. They will have their own limitations. But there are people like you, like me, that are different, who find it also other aspects challenging and excel at different things. And it really, really does take all types. And our rep, like it is the unique imprint of your mind, and it is nothing to be compared with. Nothing can compare to it. Nothing. Minds should not be compared in that way with each other and what they can output, you know? So I feel like with what you can do, with what each of us can do, we I feel like we can capitalize on our strengths and make up for our weaknesses by through collaboration. Yeah. And also through understanding ourselves. Because when you clearly identify your weaknesses, you can more effectively outsource them. You know? Get help or get training. Get help or get training. There's something you can do about it. And then, like, the thing is, you may be, like, doing the internal comparison because you're, like, worried you're not good enough. In the end, it's still, like a shame. Like, you don't want to, like, look down on yourself. You don't want to feel like you're not good enough or you're not as good as others, because that's a horrible feeling. That's a horrible belief to internalize. So your mind is fighting not to internalize the fact that you are not as good as others through needing to compare with others. You gotta train your mind to understand you cannot meaningfully compare like this. Your value is inherent. You were born with this value and this unique mind map, and you have a unique contribution that no one has a right to diminish. No one has a human right to diminish our unique contributions to society. Nobody. Not even you. Don't diminish yourself like that. And I feel like if you don't like your internal comparisons, it's natural because comparisons don't make you feel good. But you can't help doing the internal comparison because you care about how you perceive yourself. You care about how you're seeing yourself, and you're doing it because you don't want to think you're good for nothing, you know? Yes, I hope you can maybe run through the process with your therapist, because I'm definitely not a professional. No, I don't have a background in psychology. I am a client myself. So nothing here is diagnosis or anything. It's not professional help. Is, if anything, think of me as sharing homework. Think of me as someone who is sharing homework. So I'm very, very happy for people who are brave enough to share their vulnerabilities so that professionals can help them get better. You know? Yes, debating human... It is. Processing and discussing how our feelings is very, very helpful. It's how we learn from each other without having to go through everything ourselves. You know, life lessons are hard. The more we can learn from others, the better, right? And that's why I tell myself I do the stream for, and that's what I want to do for my viewers, because that's the kind of value I want to bring. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that I helped offer you like one out of many perspectives on how your procrastination might be fucking with you. Yes. Okay, wait. After this, I'm gonna go quickly into my sensory processing thing. After this little ad. After this little ad, and then we end today because we have been chatting a while, huh? I always love talking to you guys. Hi, Daddy. Hi, Daddy. How are you today? Hope you are well. Milky. Okay. Are we back from ads? Are we back from ads? Are we back from ads? God, even when I hear it, it doesn't get better. Oh! I'm sorry, you don't like your name? I'm sorry. Milky or Daddy? Well, then maybe you should consider changing your name. I know, it will make me cringe a little bit too. Okay. Now, we're going into the sensory thing. So, there's one thing I want to quickly clear up again. So, the thing that I have called the sensory processing disorder, it definitely, you can have it with or without autism. Some autistic people have it, some autistic people don't have it. And some people with the disorder aren't autistic. So, this, and also, we are used to categorizing senses as the 5 senses, like sound, smell, visual, tactile, that means the sensory, and the taste, Oh, baby. Okay, come, baby. Come. Oh, yo, good boy. Hey, you sit with mommy. So, we're used to categorizing senses into like 5. But with the sensory profile, there are actually 8 senses that are tracked across the board of human sensations. And it is evaluated based on a spectrum of sensitivity. So on one end of the spectrum of sensitivity is hypersensitivity. This is when a person experiences too much even when there's very little. So a person oversenses, it's like oversensitive. So that's called hypersensitivity. So, and on the other end of the spectrum is hyposensitivity, where the person is undersensitive. under registers everything. So that's hyposensitivity. And having a sensory processing disorder or a sensory processing condition means that your sensitivity could fall on wherever on the spectrum. You could be hypo or hyper sensitive, but you usually aren't both at once. But the tricky thing about the sensory profile is every single sense has its own spectrum. So it's not like if you're hyposensitive in one sense, you're hyposensitive in all of your senses. And it's not like if you're hypersensitive in two senses, you're hypersensitive in every one. No, each one can be different. And that's what makes it difficult and challenging, because that's not how most basic people understand how we process our senses to begin with. And this is where a lot of people, they misunderstand each other, struggles and fight and like all sorts of things. And it's what I have understood from the dynamics in my own family too, because like I grew up with people who have no idea what they're dealing with. Okay. So, with the five common senses that all of us know, the taste, the visual, the smell, blah, 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 blah. The five senses, they're called the forward-facing senses. The senses that have direct input into our bodies, right? Also the vestibular. The vestibular is your sense of balance and your coordination. Sense of balance, mostly. And so those are the six outward body sensations that your senses try to keep track of. These six. The five and the sense of balance. Okay? So, as my personal sensory profile says that, like I also realize, like in retrospect, that I am hypersensitive in all of my outward facing sensories, and I'm hyposensitive in all of my internal sensors. So the two other senses is interoception and proprioception. So interoception is... Go, baby. Ooh. Interoception is your body's ability, again, to detect hunger, thirst, pain, etc. It's the receptors that are attached to your guts, your organs, your various functions, internal organal functions of your body, so that your body is constantly receiving messages from these organs that are communicating. So being hyposensitive means they're not sending those messages to them brains. So it's under registering the hunger and all those internal things going on. Or it's over registering, then you could be hypersensitive to interoception or hypersensitivity. So like a little bit goes a long way, kind of like feeling. And so the proprioception is the body's awareness of its outward positions. So like coordination, outward coordination. Hyposensitivity means you always bump into things. You forget where your limbs are. Like you forget where your limbs are a lot. So that's one of those things. And the hypersensitivity, I actually do not know how it presents. Maybe very good dancers? I don't know. It's curious to me. But I'm hyposensitive. That's why I'm having trouble a lot with that. And then the vestibular one, where it fucks with your sense of balance, I'm hypersensitive. So if you're hypersensitive in your vestibular senses, it means that you don't like your feet off the ground. You don't like your head being moved around a lot, because you get like, you don't feel safe. You feel very, very anxious when your feet leaves the floor. And so that's like vestibular hypersensitivity. The hyposensitivity, they will be very sensory seeking. They would be like seeking a lot of like sensations, like the shaking, and like they would really, really love roller coasters or something like that. How can you forget where your limbs are? They are attached to you. See, Doomslayer, this is why it translates into something that people go like, what the fuck? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? That's why it takes so much like understanding. There's so much need for people to understand how we feel the world, how we experience the world. Like, I don't know how I can forget where my limbs are. Like, sometimes I get very into things. I forget I'm sitting on my hand like this. And then when I take it out, it's already like it has imprints on it. Like, so and there is a common misconception, Doomslayer. They say like, oh, autistics will understand autistics better. It's actually not necessarily true, because they're actually very, very equipped to misunderstand each other, because it's a spectrum, you know? And empathy isn't something that like all autistic people have, because the empathy is also like on a spectrum thing. Some people can be hyper empathetic and some people can be hypo empathetic, like my own family. Yeah, I was too. That's why I was a bigot at first. I developed empathy. I was mad hypo empathetic. I was a bigot. You can't be a bigot without being not empathetic, you know? So that was me. Oh, well, high functioning is not a preferred word anymore. We either call it low support needs or high masking. High functioning is seen as diminishing to autistic people who are high support needs. It suggests that they're functioning less than. So they deem it better to mention their support needs as a marker instead of how much or how well they can function, which is helpful. I like that. Also, high masking and low masking to kind of illustrate the tendencies, the differences in tendencies, high masking and low masking. So, Doomslayer, the R word, it was something I used without knowing how damaging it was or how problematic it was, because I came from Malaysia. Yeah. So, and I have to say, it's something that the R word is something that really triggers me on a deep level, because I used it, I was secretly afraid to be it, you know? Like, you're using it because you're secretly afraid that you're it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, almost a defense mechanism? I don't know. What do you think? But yeah, all these internal processes, not fun. I was trying to make sense of so many things at once. I call myself that. We taking the word back. Well, Doomslayer, you do you. Because you're also diagnosed, right? So you do you. You definitely can. Because I'm more public facing and I write for children, I do have to be more proper with the way I employ the use of words. So you can, and you're entitled to. Maybe it'll change. But I don't know. It's for me right now, I don't know, in Malaysia there's still, I don't know if they're still using that word. There's so many words censored nowadays. I can think of at least 2 R words that are censored already. So, I don't know how many more words we can, like, reasonably censor. Like, we gotta, like, start allowing proper, discussions to take place without censoring too many needlessly. So guys, I feel like I have chatted a lot about what I've been going through today. I had a great time and it was a very nice and chill stream, just the way I like it. Thank you. And I love you guys so much. I will see you on Thursday. Is that okay? Oh, wait. Thursday? Guys. You know what? I won't see you on Thursday. This week, I will see you on Friday. Hun, can I stream on Friday instead? So I have something on Thursday. I will see you guys on Friday this week. So, okay. You guys have a good week. Have a good week. It's just the beginning, so y'all better hang in there. Emran will see you on Wednesday. And you have a good night, okay? I love you all. Okay. Yes, I end on both. Where's the end stream? Oh, I love you guys. Good night. Good night, Arab. Good night, Doomslayer. Good night, guys. Good night, Ari, if you're still there. Good night, good night. Mwah, mwah.